Good morning, dear friends. Standard 10. Welcome back to the second semester. Today I'm going to discuss about the topic sorting. As it is a part of array, we have already discussed merging, splitting of array, single dimension array, and also we have discussed searching. So today we will discuss about sorting. Okay. So what is sorting in this case? All right. So let's see. So when we talk about sorting, it is the process of arranging the data values or the elements of an array in a specific order, that is either in ascending order, that is from small to big, or descending order, that is from big to small. In sorting, there are different techniques that are involved in sorting, but we are going to discuss, as per the reduced syllabus, bubble sort. It is a type of a sorting technique. In this type of sorting technique, that is in bubble sort, as it is obvious from the term bubble, that is, when you throw a pebble into a still water, what happens? The pebble, being of higher density, it goes down, and that is what the technique that we are going to apply in this. In a bubble sort, the heavier element will be moving towards the end, towards one end, okay, either towards the left side or towards the right, as the case may be. I am going to discuss about it. So in a bubble sort technique, what happens basically is that each element of an array is compared with the rest of the adjacent elements that are present in an array. Like 5 is compared with the 0 index element is compared with 1 index. 1 index element is compared with index 2. Index 2 element is compared with index 3 element. Index 3 element is compared with index 4. It goes on with that process. So the process continues until, towards the end we find that the entire array has been arranged either in ascending order or in descending order. So this sorting technique involves what is known as number of pass or the number of iterations. In a bubble sort, the number of pass or the number of iteration equals to the array length minus 1. If you notice, in array A, which contains 5, 8, 3, 9 and 2. So this 5, 8, 3, 9, 2, these are the contents of an array A. So these contents, what happens, the total number of elements here in A is 5. So 5 minus 1 gives you, that is 4. So that means the number of pass in this case with reference to this particular array will be, that is 4. And then within that pass there will be several comparisons will go on. So the comparison, in the first case the comparison will be 4, second case the comparison will be 3, then third case the number of comparison will be 2, then fourth case the number of comparison will be 1. So it is going to decrease that way. The number of comparison will also go on decreasing. So there are two, as I said, the two orders of sorting technique that we have. We have ascending order. So when you are doing ascending order, remember to use greater than equal to. So that's how we check. And if it is a descending order, then we use less than equal to. Alright. So now let us understand how this technique, okay, I'm trying to explain you with the help of a dry run using this particular example, that is 5, 8, 3, 9 and 2. So as we know, there are 4 passes will be there in this case, as the number of elements are 5. So let us check here. In the first pass, the first pass involves 1, 2, then you have 3, and then you have 4 comparisons. Okay. So let us understand this comparison one by one. You see the cross and the tick sign. These are the indication of the status, whether the condition is true or false. Okay. So in the first case we have 0 index element compared with the index 1 element. That is 5, checking whether 5 is greater than equal to 8 or not. So we know that it is not. So therefore it is cross. And so there will be no what you call swapping. So swapping will take place when the condition is true, and there can be any number of swapping in a particular what you call pass. Okay, one pass can have any number of what you call swapping that can take place. So in this case, in the first case it is not, so therefore the array remains as it is, 5, 8, 3, 9, 2. In the second case, index 1 element is compared with index 2 element. That is 8 greater than equals to 3. Okay. Yes, it is true. Therefore what happens? They are swapped. So 8 goes into 3 position and the 3 goes into 8's position. So that means index 1 will store now 3 and index 2 will store 8. So as a result what happens? The new setup of the array, that is the new arrangement of the array, here it is 5, 3, 8, 9, 2. So this is the array that we will follow now for the next one. Then what happens? Then we compare index 2, because index 1 and 2 is over. So therefore we have now index 2 versus index 3. So in index 2 we have 8 and in index 3 we have 9. Is 8 greater than equals to 9? Certainly not. Therefore what happens? There is no swapping. So remember, swapping is based on the truth of the condition. Then here we have the next, then we move on to the next one, that is the next comparison, where index 3 element is compared with the index 4 element. So in index 3 we have 9 and in index 4 we have 2. So is 9 greater than equals to 2? Yes. Since it is yes, correct. So that means the condition is true, so swapping takes place. So 9 goes to the 2's place and the 2 goes into the 9's place. That means at index 3 it will be 2 and at index 4 it will be 9. That means now the new arrangement of the array will be 5, 3, 8, 2, 9. That means now we have the heaviest element pushed towards the end, that is towards the rightmost part in ascending order. In descending order it will move towards the left hand. Okay. Now this same array will be considered in the next pass, that is 5, 3, 8, 2, 9. So in this case what happened? 5, 3, 8, 2, 9. Again from the next pass it will restart right from the 0 index. So that means here in this case we will have 0 index compared with 1. That means 5 greater than equals to 3. So that's what we are taking over here. Is 5 greater than equals to 3? Yes. So swapping takes place. So 5 goes to 3's place and 3 goes into the 5's place. Okay, that is at 0 index we have 3 and at index 1 we have 5. Therefore the new arrangement of the array is 3, 5, 8, 2, 9. Okay, now then we move on to the next comparison, that is 1 versus 2. Okay, index 1 versus index 2. So now what happens here? In index 1 we have 5, at index 2 we have 8. We know 5 is not greater than or equals to 8, so therefore no swapping takes place. Come down to the next comparison. Okay, so here the number of comparison will be 3. So we have already got 2 comparisons over. Now the third comparison. Okay, in the third comparison we have index 2 elements compared with index 3 element. At index 2 we have 8 and at index 3 we have 2. Yes, the condition is true, that is 8 is greater than or equal to 2. Therefore what happens? That is swapping takes place. So 2 goes into 8's position and 8 goes into the 2's position. Therefore what happens here? It is the new arrangement of the array at the end of second pass will be 3, 5, 2, 8, 9. So we have got 2 heavier elements towards the end, that is shifted towards the rightmost of the array. Now this array will be considered for the next pass. So the third pass, again it will restart the first index, that is 0 index element compared with index 1. In 0 it is 3 and index 1 we have 5. Is 3 greater than or equal to 5? Certainly not. Therefore the array remains as it is, no change. So it remains as 3, 5, 2, 8, 9. Then move on to this one. In third pass we have only 2 comparisons. So the second comparison here is index 1 versus index 2. That is index 1 has 5, index 2 has got 3. So here what happens is, it is index 2 has got 2. Right. So we know that 5 is greater than or equals to 2. The condition is true. As a result what happens? Swapping takes place. So 2 goes into 5's position, that is at index 1, and 5 goes into 2's position, that is at index 2. Therefore, at the end of third pass in ascending order using bubble sort, the arrangement of the array will be 3, 2, 5, 8, 9. And this is followed by the fourth pass, which is the final pass. Then again it will restart. In the final pass there will be only one comparison. That is, at the last pass there will always be a single comparison. So now what happens here, 0 index element is compared with the index 1 element. So therefore what happens, 3 is greater than or equals to 2. Yes, it is true, the condition is true. Therefore what happens, swapping takes place. So once swapping takes place, what happens, 2 goes into 3's position, that is at 0 index, and 3 goes into 2's position, that is at index 1. Therefore the new arrangement of the array at the end of fourth pass will be 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, and thus the array is arranged in ascending order. Okay. So similarly what happens is, instead of checking for greater than equals to, if we check for less than equals to, we will find that we are able to perform the descending order sorting technique. So this is what we have, the sorting technique of the array that we have. Okay, so I'm going to show you the entire view of this one. Please remember and practice, because you might get questions based on this. That is, an array will be given to you, array elements will be given to you, and they might ask you what will be the new arrangement of the array using bubble sort technique in ascending order at the end of, say, third pass or fourth pass or second pass, so on and so forth. Alright, so please be clear about this particular concept. Now I'm going to show you the program. Okay, I'm going to show you the program, and you will find I will also show you how I loop and the J loop occurs, or how they run. So the one program that I'm going to show you here, I will write the program and explain you the same. If you remember this dry run, you will easily understand the program as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you the program. Just hold on. Let's begin with the question here. Write a program to accept 10 integers in an array called A. Arrange all its elements in ascending order using bubble sort technique. Print the original array as well as the sorted array. So let's see the program. Remember, you have 10 elements. You have to arrange them in ascending order using bubble sort technique. So the first one is import space java.util.start. Of course, class name I have taken bsort, that's representing bubble sort. Then we have a public static void main, scanner sc equals to new scanner, int a is equals to new int 10, that is array declaration. Then we have a value entry over here. For int I equals to 0, I less than a dot length I plus plus. You can also write 10. Since we know the elements, number of elements, we can also write I less than 10. ai equals to sc dot next int. Since it is an integer, it is this way. And if it is a character, then please remember, if it is a character array, you have to arrange them. Then in that case, you have to write char a equal to new char 10, and ai is equals to sc dot next open close parenthesis dot char 0. Okay. Then before we perform the bubble sort here, what we are going to do is, first we will print the original array. This is the original array that we are printing first. That is, for int I equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, system out dot print ai plus, and of course comma. So all the elements will be arranged with a comma, even including the last element. Okay, we'll have a comma there. And then after that, since we are using printing in a horizontal way, so we take a next line. After printing the array, we'll move on to the next line, that is system.out.println open close parenthesis. The reason is that we have to print the sorted array also, otherwise it will get mixed up. We will find that the original array as well as the sorted array will be in one line, so you won't be able to differentiate. So that is the reason for writing system.out.println open close parenthesis. Now soon after this, we move on to the bubble sort, okay, in ascending order. So what we do is, we take a temporary variable, which is called a temporary instance. What is the function of this temporary instance or a temporary variable? It is used to hold the values as long as the values are brought to use. Thereafter, it loses its what you call existence. All right, it becomes insignificant. So it is mainly used for swapping the values, temporary variables. Since 9th standard, you remember we have used, that is swapping using a technique using what you call a third variable, and this is what exactly it is all about. This is the third variable. It acts like a catalyst. It does not itself take part in the what you call execution of the program. However, it helps in building up the logic, that is in swapping. Okay, so please remember, this is the what you call the loop that we are going to have. For int I equals to 0, I less than a dot length minus 1, whatever the length may be, just write a dot length or name of the array. Please remember, the name of the array can be any name. So depending on the name of the array, in this case, in our case, we have array name is a, and that's the reason I have written over there a dot length minus 1. If it is b, write b dot length minus 1. Then I plus plus. So here I represents the total number of pass or total number of iterations. And within the total number of iterations, there are a number of comparisons. So this comparison is represented by, or the number of comparisons are represented by the loop j. Okay. So for int j equals to 0, j less than a dot length minus 1 and minus I. Remember, it is j is less than a dot length minus I minus 1 and j plus plus. Then the condition is if aj is greater than equals to aj plus 1, temp is equals to aj equals to aj plus 1, and aj plus is equals to temp. Close j loop, close condition, close I loop. So there what happens, the sorting is over at this particular part. So this is the only thing that you have to do in case of a what you call ascending order sorting. If it is a descending order sorting, everything remains the same. You just have to change from greater than equal to less than equal to. The moment you change less than equal to, it will get converted into descending order. So here you have to be very, very careful. In the question, if they ask you ascending order, so make sure it is greater than equal to. If it is descending order, then you should write less than equal to. And then after that, after having completed the sorting part, now the array is assumed to be sorted, arranged. Now we have printing of the sorted array. So how to print the sorted arrays? Just as how the way that we have printed the original arrays, same thing it is. That is for int I equal to 0, I less than what you call 10 and I plus plus, system.out.print ai and with a comma. Alright. So this is how what happens. This is the program based on your sorting technique and with a special reference to bubble sort technique as per the reduced syllabus. Okay. So we do not have the next sorting, that is the what you call the selection sort technique is not there in your syllabus. So as a result, this is how we have the sorting. So in the next class, I will teach you how to, I'll give you a program based on string, how to sort strings. Okay. So till then, take care of yourself, be safe and sound. God bless each one of you. Thank you.